All right, how are you, everybody? It's once again AJ Pan here, America's favorite agent. We're here with Happy Hour, and again, and this week I have a very special guest, the lovely Gemma Guiliana. How you doing, Gemma?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How about you?
Hanging in. We're doing the best we can during this right now. Doing this fun, little show here just to keep busy and get some interaction and see how everyone's doing and talk wrestling and have a little fun right now.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So, how have you been keeping busy during this quarantine? How's life been for you? You're out in south of Jersey, right?
Yeah.
How's everything out there,
So,
your neck of the woods?
I mean, it's pretty normal-ish, I guess, besides a lot of stores being closed. Just been going out for jogs, trying to keep a routine, go to Starbucks in the morning sometimes, um, watching TV, playing games, and yeah, I mean, that's really it. Just hanging out pretty much.
That's all we could pretty much do. It's tough right now, and every state has something different, so it's hard to gauge
Yeah.
how everybody's dealing with. Like Florida's opening up already, so things are crazy. Things are crazy.
Really crazy.
Now, speaking of, so you've been watching TV. Have you been keeping up a bit with the televised pro wrestling scene?
Yeah, I just watched Raw last night and it was actually pretty good, but I mean, without the crowds, it kind of like kills the energy a little bit, but I mean, kudos to those guys for going out there and doing the damn thing with no one out there. It's different. Like when you have a training match, it feels like it doesn't feel the same, but yeah, they're doing good and I really think that, they're doing a great job for the situation that we're in right now.
What's your takeaway from the adjustment? Because like people like us, we're used to kind of at certain times we've had smaller crowds, and they're
Yeah.
used to competing in 20, 30, 40,000 people. So how do you think they've been handling the transition of having now to interact more to the camera and get through to us at home?
I think it's good for them to realize that, they do work in front of a lot of people. So that's something they should never take for granted. So now they kind of feel like how we feel sometimes. It's like, oh man, there's no one here. Lighthouse. Um, but I think that it helps them with, like you said, like interacting with the camera and actually working just TV. So I think it's different for them, but in a good way where they're adapting to the different changes and like how the cameras are and there's no one that can say cheer or boo them, so it's different. They can just work and just do whatever they have to do and there's no consequence as to the crowd, a live crowd. So I think it's a positive and a negative. Without the energy it kind of sucks, but like I said, I think they're doing fine for whatever the situation is right now.
Yeah, it's been an interesting adjustment. Some people either love it or hate it. I'm happy the stuff to watch on television. But they're trying to do something different, and they've had the cinematic matches. They've had so far now the Boneyard match, the Firefly Funhouse match. They even tried a little bit with Gargano and Ciampa on NXT. And last night, Sunday night, Money in the Bank. What are your thoughts on now the cinematic matches they've been putting on?
I think some are hit, some are missed. Like the really long matches that are just, I mean, the wrestling is always good, okay? There's nothing that should be taken away from those guys at all. But sometimes it's hard to watch, without that just energy. Like I mentioned before, you know what it is. You don't get that adrenaline pump that you would if there was people that are, backing you up or, just feeling the energy. You feel it. So I think some matches it hurts it, but some matches it doesn't matter if there's a crowd or not because it's not meant for that environment. Like the Boneyard match with Taker, that was a phenomenal match, and I can't say any more good things about it because it's just amazing. The Money in the Bank match, I enjoyed it. There were some things that were like, but I think they did a good job for what the situation is. So I think that went well. Also, the Firefly Funhouse match, that was actually cool. How they just did all that in that match. It kind of like made a lot of sense with Bray Wyatt and Cena, and you have these people who, you looked up to for years, and then you just bring it back. So it's kind of like nostalgic in a way. But yeah, some matches are just so drawn out, and it's like, okay, we need that energy back. So yeah.
Yeah, the Money in the Bank, I love most of it, except some of the cameos didn't kind of fit in, but it was fun. It was like, again, like that's what we need kind of right now. People are complaining about there being no crowd, so they're trying to do something different. And I loved it. It was so insane, but that's what it needed to be. As soon as they announced they're fighting in the lobby of Tide Tower, you had to expect that it's going to be insanity.
I mean, I loved a lot of parts of it, especially everyone racing to the top and just different, like you said, different cameos, and especially Asuka. She was like the star of that whole match. She was awesome. I love her. She did a phenomenal job with her character work and everything, and that's why she is the new champion. So congrats to her. She definitely deserves it. And yeah, it was just interesting how they fit two, like the women's and the men's match into one, and they kind of like ran into each other. So it's different, but it's kind of cool, how they're being creative in a way where they didn't know what to do before, and now they're doing it. So kudos to them for that. They're trying.
Yeah, 100%. I've said it for weeks on here. Asuka's been the MVP, I think, of WWE right now since this whole pandemic has been on. She's been on in her matches, her promos, just all of her interaction. And going back to what you were talking about earlier, saying like how we miss, it's tough for them to react without no crowd. I've been talking about this with a lot of people. Like, what do you miss about everything right now going on? Like, miss about pro wrestling?
Well, I for one miss being at shows. I miss performing. I miss just how life used to be, in a way where you can't go into a store without a mask on, which has nothing to do with wrestling, but hey, just normal life. Everyone who is like out of work now, it's kind of crazy with the numbers of people who are out of work. So I miss, people going to shows and just doing things that make them happy, whether it's sports or concerts or anything in that matter. It's really crazy that, nothing is happening and like the world just stopped. Like that's insane on its own, but just normal life, just doing things that you like to do, even going to a restaurant, getting a drink at a bar, and everything just halted. So it's kind of crazy,
Yeah, especially being here in New York. Like, you don't see, like, Times Square is a ghost town. And like you said,
Right.
like, it's tough to just see everything closed down. You can't order anything past a certain time. No restaurants, no bars. Yeah, it's been insanity. It's been something.
Right. And even if like you need to go to a store late at night and they're not open anymore when they were 24 hours, everything has changed. And it's so insane how life is different and you have to adjust to it. So not only are we adjusting, the performers are adjusting, and it's really cool that, but it's kind of controversial because it's a risk, but I think they're doing the best they can to take all the safety precautions that they have to take in order to ensure everyone's safety. So that's good. But it's cool that at least they're doing something live. Like I think they're the only sport that's on TV that's live or doing shows currently. So that's cool. So at least we have something to look forward to while this whole craziness is going on.
Speaking of adjusting, how do you see independent pro wrestling adjusting once we're allowed to begin doing shows again?
I think there's going to be less capacity allowed in buildings. They're going to have to space each seat out, accordingly, like 6 feet or whatever the new safety measures will be. I think that, it will definitely be a fraction. I think people have to pre-order tickets and then that's it. Or there probably won't be a lot of walk-in people anymore where you could just walk in. Maybe they'll have fans take their temperature. I don't know. Probably mask. I mean, it's going to be really different. I really am not entirely sure what to expect, but it's going to be different for sure until whenever this lets up, which who knows when. So who knows, it's just unknown.
Yeah, we're definitely in for crazy times. We are looking forward to get back to it, though.
Same.
What are you looking forward to the most? Any dream matches you have on your belt? What was maybe bound to happen? You were off for a little while before this happened, right? Or you were just starting to come back?
Yeah, actually, yeah. So I just came back and then boom, pandemic. So I've only had 2 matches back since I took time off, which was in December. So it was a couple of months. But yeah, I'm looking forward to, well, I had a lot of bookings that obviously got canceled. So traveling to new places, working new people, And hopefully, if ECWA gets the Super 8 chick fight tournament back, I would love to be a part of that again and prove myself and, get to further in the tournament than I did last year on my birthday, which sucked, but whatever, that's a past. I'm looking forward to the future. So hopefully, new goals, new matches. I would love to have crazy matches like steel cage and street fights and just fun stuff like that. So hopefully get signed somewhere. Who knows when that'll happen, where, when, why. I don't know, but just a lot, There's so much to look forward to once this whole pandemic ends.
What was in the change from Gemma Cross, as we saw at the last Super 8, to Gemma Guiliana? Why the change, and what is the exact change?
Well, the new name is Gemma Guiliana. I decided to revamp my image and go with a different name that no one has. There are a ton of people who have the name Cross, and I wanted to set myself apart from that name and kind of just rebuild my image in a different way where, I'm Italian, I'm Hispanic, so I figure that it fits more of me and my name and just my vibe. So I decided to go with a different route, and I feel like Cross was just, like I said, overused. And no offense, I mean, there's people in WWE, 2 people who have that name, Cross, now. So, I mean, why not do something different and set yourself apart from the crowd?
And what is, when we see Gemma Guiliana when she returns, what can we expect? Presentation-wise, what do we expect?
Well, Gemma Guiliana is a total babe, and total babes are ruthless, badass, classy, sassy, the whole package. So Gemma Guiliana is going to be everything and anything that a wrestling fan will love. So expect to see a lot.
All right. Well, that's definitely good to hear. We're looking forward to that. Do you have any content you're putting out? Do you have any merchandise that you want to plug while you're here? Like, where can people see you during this and support you? We love seeing positive content being put out. So what can people follow or help you out in any way?
Right. So actually, I'll pull them up here. I have a bunch of new 8x10s. Just a really nice stuff here. I'm going to pull them up. You guys want to support me, I have them all here. Limited quantities of each. I've sold a few already. So I got that here. People can message me or email me for, if they're interested in buying. I am trying to work on shirts. So hopefully I'll get some in the future. Some cool designs coming out, hopefully on Pro Wrestling Tees. But I do have a shirt on Lingerie Fighting Championship. If you go on their Instagram and you click onto their website and their merch, I have a Gemma Jersey Babe Guiliana from LFC shirt that's available. Really cool design. It's based off Jersey, obviously, because that's my gimmick there. So, and I'm just working on new content daily. So hopefully I'll get some out, and I'll be announcing it once I have it available.
And where can people follow you if they aren't already, which they should be?
They should. Exactly. They should be. But if they're not. So Instagram is at the Gemma Guiliana. I have a lot of cool pictures and stuff, and I like to interact with my fans. So follow me there if you're not already, which you should be, as you said. And Twitter is at Gemma Guiliana. And I have a Facebook page you can like as well at, it's just Gemma Guiliana, not at, because, Facebook. It's a fan page. And if you like it, I would really appreciate that. And if you follow me, which you should be, do so, because I put a lot of cool stuff out there.
Well, it was great talking to you. I thank you. Hopefully, when this is over, fun tidbit. Me, myself, Joey Ace, and Nikki Adams, we took Gemma to her first trip to Hooters for her birthday after the after the Super 8. So hopefully we could do that again sometime in the future.
Yeah, hopefully the next Super 8 we can go, and hopefully I can celebrate as a champion, because Gemma Guiliana won't take shit anymore.
Yes, we love to see that. Hopefully we see you there. Wherever we hope to see you, hopefully we share a locker room soon. Please follow her. And thank you for all your time today.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll see you back in a minute, everybody.